Hello everyone, I wanted to do this quick video and just talking about being the gift, using your gifting and knowing that you guys can manifest everything that you desire if you just follow your heart and you just follow your alignment. And also just having complete allowance to be in a constant state of reception and to really understand that we're all using our gifts here on this earth plane to really bridge the gap and to make people feel accepted and comfortable in their divine skin. So I want you to know that you are the gifting that you're seeking. Everything that you're seeking is inside of yourself, and what is inside of me is inside of you too. And realizing that we have this energy, we have this aliveness, we have this resource inside of ourselves that allows us to have infinite resources as an infinite creation. As a creation that we can allow ourselves to vocalize, to put in a context, a narrative, and a theme, and to go from that standpoint of realization and allowing ourselves to see that we are here to spread that awareness, to share that awareness, but to be a loving essence of source energy and to help people be interconnected, but also allow them to have a sense of confirmation and validation that what they are experiencing is so real. So the one thing I want to shout out to all of the people who received from me, all of the people who received a private session from me. It's because of the very fact that people want their self-development is what makes the world go round. When you're solely based in wanting to develop your skills, to train yourself, to dedicate yourself to something, to having your passions overshine everything as a way of empowering everything that you do, that is always going to be your bread and butter. Just know that that is going to propel you to do everything that you want to do in your life. And that if you've been scraping at it for 2 or 3 years, don't feel like you're a minute late or a minute early, because we're all going at our own pace and we're all going at the rate of speed of which the divine wants us to go. And if some of you have felt so out of place or felt out of touch or feel like you were late or that you missed something, it has just begun. You're just beginning. You're always beginning again, and you're always having a wave of redemption, having a wave of healing and fluctuation and rejuvenation and recalibration every single day. When we do this, when we live in a meditative state fully, we allow ourselves to embody that meditative state. So if you allow yourself to embody that meditative state, then you are that meditative state. If you are that wealthy person, you've already accumulated the wealth. If you are that person that wants healing and worthiness, then you won't put yourself down. And you just have to want it. You have to desire it. You have to feel like it's something that makes sense. It's something that always makes sense to yourself, but also it makes sense to be that person that you want to become. And it's always being that person that you really love, looking at the inseparability inside of yourself and having true acceptance over what you're doing in your life. If you have acceptance, if you have energy, if there's something inside of you that you want to do, and then you finally stop suppressing it, and then you allow it to shine through every single thing that you do, then you have generated the pulse. You have ignited the flame of passion, and you've tapped into undenying grace and anointing. And we're here to be the best that we can be and always better ourselves and always change who we are at this standpoint. And always have that self-realization as a way to prime that impulse that you get and that divine obedience and hearing that whisper of spirit to let you know what you need to do at this point in time. And when you have that, then you have something to go on and you have something to look forward to. And if you always have something to go on and something to look forward to, then you're never bored and you're never not inspired. And you're always focused on your brand new intention. You're always focused on what you can do more, how you can give, but also how you can receive, but also just tapping into a free state of non-physicality, tapping into a simultaneous awareness and allowing that awareness to shine in every single thing that you do. And to not allow yourself to just be there and then put it down, but be there most of the time. If you can allow yourself to be there most of the time, then most of the time you will be dedicated, you'll be strong, you'll have an abundance of energy, and you will know what you need to do at that point in time. And if some of you are afraid, that fear is being cleared. A lot of the energies that are going around right now, a lot of clearing, a lot of shadow work, a lot of really just taking accountability and really just holding yourself to a higher standard. And the way that we let go of past hurts is to realize that because we are awakened now, that was a false illusion that we were experiencing. So all of that stuff that happened to us, the trauma, was just leading us to the healing journey. And it was leading us to see that the pain and the suffering that we experienced before we awakened was not real, but we perceived it as real. But now we're cognizant and aware, and then we're able to look at it more deeper. And a lot of people are seeing and questioning who they are, questioning their position, questioning if they're even here to begin with. Like, is the body what I perceive the body to be? Are my thoughts what I perceive my thoughts to be? Are my sense of anger really the anger, or is it something behind it? And how can I see the resolution in all things and knowing that all things work out for my highest and best good? How can you see that? That everything can work out for my highest and best good, and I can see through the false implication of that. That's the word I was trying to say. For a person who talks a lot, I have a trouble saying certain words sometimes. For a person who knows a lot of words and who talks a lot, but it's just seeing it from a great perspective. It's seeing it from a completely different scope and a lens that you can go upon and see that you're being the gift. You're just molding the gift. You're allowing the gift to shine through everything that you do, but also the gift is just accepting the gift. It's okay to feel like crap. It's okay to heal. It's okay to cry. It's okay to have anger. But do you want to stay that way is the question. Do you want to stay within that anger? Do you want to stay within that vibration? To accept another vibration, you have to let go of the other vibration you're holding on to. So if you're holding on to something, then let it go and set it free. And if you need to put it in a ball of energy and send it back to the sun, that's another great perspective to have that I've always used. So it's just allowing yourself to see, like, okay, what I'm experiencing is real. What I am is energy. And what I am is consciousness. Recognizing consciousness. Being aware of consciousness. Being balanced within my vibration, but not going overboard with my energy and abusing the energy. Because sometimes when we get in too much of a state that we're not ready for yet, then we can act out of arrogance and pride and stupidity. But they allow us to do it in a way that it's structured in a very precise way so that we're able to use it in a way of love and gratitude and understanding. But if we don't have that understanding, then that understanding is filled with a distorted filter. And if we have the right idea and the filter and the energy that comes with it, then we see that we understand that we are that energy that we're carrying, that we're igniting that flame of passion, that we're coming back into balance with who we really are. And understanding that it's all about fulfillment. But it's not just fulfillment, but it's really just allowing your meditations in the morning to set the precedent. You're always setting a precedent, and you're also dissolving the sense of position. Because your soul is doing multitude of things all the time. You're always doing something. You're never taking a break. You never have a day off when you are the soul. So sometimes you have to give your soul that break and that attention, and you have to nurture that soul with self-care and self-love, but also self-preservation. Because that will then allow you to come back and think about your thoughts and just get on top of everything that is trying to be an obstacle or a challenger. Because when it's an obstacle or a challenger or a block, then you just have to tell that block that I am absolutely just done with this bullshit. I'm fucking done with this bullshit. I'm done with that. I'm done experiencing that. But taking on others' energy or putting myself in a position where I'm not being of service to myself. Because you have to be of service to yourself to be of service to others. It starts out like that, but then you start to see that by giving, by understanding, by sharing, then you allow others to receive their psychic insight, and then they're able to go from there. But also you relay the message with the exact notion that it's just relaying and sharing and being the gift that keeps on giving. Because you give your life to God every day. If you give your life to God just throughout the day, then you're giving your guides and your higher self and your psychic insight a way to be channeled and a way to be authenticated, but also just going from your most authentic state of mind, frame, and consciousness. And there will also be a meditation when I do this live. And I just had an amazing session with one of my clients, and I received from my client. So just because I was delivering something for somebody didn't mean that I didn't receive from it, because I received something from it because they chose to show up to their life. And that's really the brass tacks of all of that, is really showing up to your life as if you're meant to be there, but also for your self-development and tithing. So tithing can be in many different forms. It could be helping somebody. It could be helping somebody move out of their house, giving a poor man some money. It could be donating to a charity. It could be making a psychic appointment. But tithing is trying to get that sense of development and seeing your beauty and recognizing it and loving yourself, but also honoring your free will and not having to seek validation from others. You don't have to seek approval from others, and you don't have to necessarily receive from others if that's not in vibrational alignment, because you're not going from your own vehicle as source and using yourself as the divine instrument of that gift that can be used and prophesy and relay and become and love and nurture other people with your sense of gift, with your sense of simultaneity and your excitement within yourself, because it has to be all in. You have to be all in about it, because if you're not all in about it, then there's some doubt, there's some fear, or there's some I don't know, there's some hesitation there. And then when you get pushed to do it, then it feels so much better. It's kind of like you just took the cold plunge in the water, and it just kind of like, oh God. But then it feels kind of good because it's rejuvenating yourself. Or you take like a shower or something, or you sage yourself down because you're rejuvenating the energy. You're bringing back the energy back to yourself, and you're not taking on anybody else's energy. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful because you're able to see that everything that you want, everything that you desire, everything that you're trying to achieve is based in your vibration, your fulfillment, but also your state of where you channel your energy. Unless it is connecting people to their loved ones on the other side, healing energy, meditation, doesn't matter what it is, it leads to the same thing. Or you want to be an anointed person in some field or whatever, an African shaman, or bringing your wisdom from the other dimensions and implementing it here. So it doesn't have to be what I'm doing. But if I could be the permission slip to let you know that you're gifted, that you're loved, and you should be proud of yourself, then it's not overconfidence. It's not an arrogant confidence, because you're not coming from the standpoint from a filter, but you're coming from the standpoint from your gut instinct, from your heart and your mind. That is the mind, body, and soul. So it's just coming from that standpoint and coming from the point of spontaneous combustion, spontaneous recognition, but also letting yourself be constant and consistent and have repetition towards what you do. And just seeing yourself not as an object, not as a concept, not as a scientific instrument, not as this Arizona hat. Like, this is not who you are. That's not who you are. But you have to see yourself as everything that is clarity and conscious and direct energy and that direct perception of the I am presence, and experiencing that throughout your day. So, and it's just kind of done with your own sickness or your own energy or your lack of not being prosperous. Because I have meditated for 3 years, with money meditations and things of that nature, and people receiving from me from all over the world, and also just the very fact that people listen and people watch and people are receiving. And it's because following my anointing, but not allowing it to be all about myself. Because when I'm channeling here, it's not about me, but it's about the recipient that is typing in the comment section that's receiving this. And it's like, wow, you're saying stuff that is hitting. And then when it's hitting, it's 100%. And you know that it's like you're finding your own resonance within that. And that's why it's beautiful. That's why it's beautiful. It has nothing to do with me. It has a little bit to do with me because I chose to go live after the session. But it has everything to do with how you want life to be. And how you want to prophesy your future. And how you want to attract. Because if we didn't have the people to receive, then it would be useless. And we would all just be, being naked in a tribe somewhere and like banging the drum and stuff. But not saying that it's not useless. And I know that social media gives us the ability to do that. But it's really like making a big impact and wanting to share and also wanting to reach and wanting to touch hearts and minds. It's been my dream for a long time, and never disregard what you can do. And no matter if it takes you a little bit of time, you will get there. You will be ready for it. And it's just receiving the healing for it, also receiving the wisdom for it, but also receiving your most authentic self to push you through to the next stage of your journey. So I want to do a quick meditation for you guys. I wanted to do this quick live, so I might be going live later around 10 or 11 to do readings and healings. I haven't decided yet. And I have to go and cook dinner for my girlfriend, so I'm going to be cooking chicken Alfredo. So I'm going to do this quick meditation for you guys, but also you can book private sessions for 1 hour for $70, $60 for a healing and activation session. And also you can do $40 for a 30-minute session and a $50 psychic class if I get 4 or 5 people. But with this meditation, what I want you to do is that I want you to just relax, tap into the energy of letting go, tap into the energy of just allowance, constant reception, but feeling empowered to do the things that you want to do in your life and to be that gifting for somebody, to make a big impact, to love others and see them as inseparability, to see others as love and to see others as consciousness. And if you see everybody not as an object, but as energy, and you see them as alchemy, and you see that this interconnectedness is by how much we love ourselves and others, but to not judge or condemn or to persecute or point the finger back at others, because every time you do that, there's a finger being pointed back at you. But we don't have to justify our gifting. We don't have to prove it right or wrong, because it's not either of those things. But it is just the direct line of source and becoming that oracle of love, light, and wisdom once again. And it's just having that energy of release. It's just having that energy of acceptance that you can receive, and you can live your best life and be excited, but also subtract so you can generate more space within yourself. But also it's just a direct initiation into the next phase, into the next journey, into the next wave of energy that you need to tap into. And it's just tapping into that direct bliss. And it's just knowing it, recognizing it, and locking it in. Because you don't want to step out of the meditative state and then forget about it, but just lock it in. Tap into your Akashic record, tap into your happy place. This is your space and your time when you're meditating. This is your time to set the precedence, to set the table of that beautiful buffet of creation. You can see it as a motherboard of creation. You can see it as your vortex. You can see it as your life. You can place your desired reality in the present even, or in the past. But it doesn't matter how much wisdom that I give, it's about what you want the recipient. But allow your inner child to run wild with that imagination. Allow yourself to just be vulnerable and sensible to what you want and want to receive. And accepting that blessing is really just commanding the blessing. Even if you have to put your hand over your head and speak those loving, faith-filled words over yourself, and just have the underlining fact that you accept and you receive and you know yourself once again. And then go about life the way you want to be, and you want to go, and you want to walk the walk and talk the talk, and you just want to be a wholesome, holistic, loving person throughout every situation, rather it's circumstance, rather it's situations, rather it's anything that you're experiencing. It doesn't matter what it has to be, but just allow yourself to maintain that awareness always. It's much easier to smile than it is to frown. It's much easier to judge than to understand. It's much easier to hold on than to let go. That's why if this was easy, then everybody else would do it. So it's a two-way street, not a one-way street. That's growing, giving, receiving, maturing, and just developing your skills. And what you're just becoming is God manifested in the human form, which is the oracle of love, light, and wisdom. And you're just becoming your own direct source of genuine energy and the prophecy that's foretold, and also the prophet fully realized and aware and alive now. And you see how much better that you feel like when you just immediately do that. And it's freeing. That's what the beautiful thing is about meditation, is that sometimes it feels kind of tough to tap in and to just stay there, and to sometimes it's kind of hard just to meditate in the morning, but then once you do it for long periods of time, and then suddenly it just snaps into place and it's just there, and it's beautiful and it's loving and nurturing, and will always be your gateway to really channeling from your own inner intuition. So I want to thank you guys for this quick impromptu. I just got done doing a private session with somebody, and it was beautiful, and I felt like I needed to do this. And also just know you guys can book private sessions with me. I'm going to put my Cashapp, whitewolftheoracle, so that you can book private sessions with me. My sessions are $70 for 1 hour for readings. A healing and activation session for 1 hour is $60. And also 30 minutes for $40. And a psychic class for $50 if I get 4 or 5 people. So you have to pick a time, date, and day. Pick a time, date, and day that you want to have the session itself. And also I'm on Eastern time. So if you're on a different time zone, you have to let me know. And also, if you wanted to have a longer session, then I'd have to discuss pricing with you. So just know that if you wanted a longer session like Dragonfly Hello, just let me know that's what you want and that's what you desire. And thank you so much for that. And I do see your guys' comments, and I do see your guys' and also I will send you contact information, but you can reach out to me on Facebook. I have White Wolf the Oracle. You can seek me out there. And also TikTok. You can message me on TikTok for any psychic readings, healings, activations, and things of that nature. So I want to thank you guys so much. And I want to thank you guys so much for receiving the meditation, but also for the very fact that we get to be connected. And we also just allow ourselves to see each other not as objects, but as energy. And one of the things that I got was be the gift. Be the gift that keeps on giving. Give enough so that you have nothing left to give. And then you'll be rejuvenated, and then you'll be able to give more. And then you'll be reciprocated in living life as a circle. So that means that you're always reciprocated back. It's the boomerang effect. So everything that you send out and you throw back, it will come back to you. So thank you guys so much. God bless. Namaste. I love you. And I will post this on YouTube. God bless you all. And this is White Wolf.